뒤집어서 쳐봐요. 뒤집어서.
Backseat duck cheers.
벌을 주워가지고 돌아올 때는 저렇게 하면 시간을 좀 줄일 수 있겠네요.
Look, Squid Game is as cleverly written as most anything streaming/airing. However, sometimes it just likes to point out the obvious with its dialogue. And this is one of those times.
노름판에서 너한테 사기치는 면상이라고 생각해봐.
Believing that hatred and death wishes lead to better aiming skills. If that were true, we'd all be perfect bowlers, and that free pitcher of the cheapest beer on tap you just won would begin to lose its meaning.
엄마, 그 공깃돌이 아버지가 그때 바람핀 여자 머리끄댕이라고 생각해.
썩을
Only blaming the mistress for infidelity when it took two to tango.
포기하면 너는 천지신명이 아니라 내 손에 먼저 죽어.
This works. Team completes the task with the last second ticking off the clock as they cross the finish line. Cliché. This montage obstacle course is on for all the some time. Letting the stoned guy be responsible for the game that requires solid balance. Why not let him throw the stone instead?
저 우리 팀 믿습니다. 또 여기 우승자도 계시니까.
The previous winner who never did this particular challenge? That previous winner?
대호야, 침착하게. 실수.
Jinxing your teammate before they even start. Frontman flagrantly false tensions us, but we know the tension is false because we've seen an episode of Squid Game before. It is not. Why was this guy's hand in player 456's face? There's no line here they have to avoid stepping across like in the rock throwing game. Was he worried Gi-hun was gonna suddenly make a run for it?
아, 씨발 존나 많이 살았어.
Stealing your lines of dialogue from Dwight Schrute.
넌 몇 살이야? 저 98이요.
Answering a how old are you question in a way that forces said asker to do math.
엄마, 그만 좀 물어봐. 뭘 그렇게 남의 얘기를...
Being nosy is like 95% of what most mothers do. You might as well ask her to stop trying to feed everyone.
어쩐지 깨끗하지.
Trying to grope a stranger when you find out they've had breast augmentation. Or really, just groping strangers in general. Let's just not do that.
혼놈도 아닌데 뛰기도 잘하고.
Backhanded compliments.
강대호입니다. 큰 대자에 호랑이 호자.
Explaining what your name means when no one asked. And especially if no one even asked what your name was in the first place. I understand the remaining contestants are interested to know what the amount of money is currently, but also part of this equation is the math of it all, which I cannot stand by and watch people show any interest in without sinning.
여기서 나가면은 다들 우리 집서 밥 한 끼 하면 어때요?
If we get out? Always good to start the meal invitation with the possibility that one will be brutally murdered before they can enjoy the meal.
아니 다들 어떻게 이렇게 가깝게 살아?
Is it all that surprising? What has Zhang witnessed to make her believe any of these players have been extracted from outside the general area?
저도 이제 그만할 겁니다.
Thing I tell myself during a Netflix binge before inevitably continuing on for another 4 episodes and hating myself at work the next morning somehow makes it into the episode. Non-consensual massages.
이번 투표는 1번부터 시작하겠습니다.
Another 8 minutes of the players voting. Awesome.
너랑 나랑 합치면은 1억 5천이 넘어. 그걸로 네 빚 다 갚고.
Episode builds false tension by having a character give false assurance to his mother. One could argue the episode is pressing its luck. F***ing double whammy, guys. Disrespecting someone's religion. I mean, wait. Religion. Not sure what that hand gesture means. Maybe don't forget the telescope? What does that have to do with anything?
사람들이 그렇게 죽어나가는 꼴을 보고도 이걸 또 하겠다고?
Another person giving a rah-rah speech during 8 minutes of the players voting. Awesome.
내가 장사하다가 지금 빚이 5억이 넘거든요?
We're already aware that Squid Game is essentially justifying murder, the TV show. And because we already know that, we don't need to hear people whine about why they're in or want to be out of the game. Less of the boo-hooing and more of the Squid Gaming. And murdering, please.
내가 장사하다가 지금 빚이 5억이 넘거든요?
We're going looking into bankruptcy protections and jumping right into Squid Gaming.
다들 게임 잘 했고, 그래서 여기 살아있고.
Forgetting that the last round was a team challenge, where it's less about how well you play and more about not getting stuck with awful teammates. Thanking your captors.
누나는 안 무서워요?
Scared of me saying skip? Because you should be skip.
내 사채랑 하우스에서 땡긴 건데 다음 달까지 못 갚으면은 큰일 나.
More trouble than you're in right now?
한 판만 더 하고.
This episode is 63% just one more game. Open-mouthed mastication.
그쵸? 이게 내 잘못이라고만 할 수는 없는 거잖아요.
Thinking that being partially to blame for something bad happening is somehow better than being fully to blame for something bad happening.
진짜 웬만한 여자들보다 더 늘씬하고 이쁜 애들이.
Guy's clearly trying to be supportive, but ranking trans women by hotness is still f***ing creepy. Although, I guess in a way, that is true gender equality being achieved for trans women, to be objectified by men like any other woman. Am I woke incorrectly?
언니도 예뻐요.
Who put these f***ing onions in my recording booth? I'm not crying, you're crying. Wow, I haven't seen someone stare this hard at a dick since my roommate showed us his Nightwing comics collection. Not providing hand soap for contestants to wash their hands. The water alone does no good. You can kill players, but I draw the line of forcing them into bad hygiene.
아직도 저놈들이 괴롭혀요?
Asking this after watching those guys clearly bully him.
말고 꼭 오밤중에 가더라.
Memorizing mom's toilet schedule.
까부는 놈들 있으면 확.
You know what would scare them more? Actually stabbing them. Hand gestures are scary too, I guess.
여자야. 어? 이름도 현지야.
Who is she saying this to? Because she's facing Hyunju as this line is spoken. Is she reminding Hyunju that she's a woman? Because I think she already knows that.
그래서 다시 들어온 거야. 이번에 다 같이 나가려고.
There's at least 226 people that would argue Gi-hun has already lost that battle.
화장실도 혼자 못 가서 질질 짤 것 같은데.
Ah, yes, the most well-known human biological drawback. You can't cry and pee at the same time. It's physically impossible.
계속 영 딴 사람 같더니.
It's almost like trauma changes people.
선장님 뭐 노래하고 춤이라도 춰줄 건가?
Walking away before finding out if the captain is going to sing and dance for you.
빚이 얼마인지 모르지만 너도 잘 생각해. 난 여기서 오래 못 버텨.
At worst, he's lasted longer than a little over half the contestants. Say me doesn't insult correctly. Storing all the guns in what look like high school lockers. How have players not gotten to any of these guns before? Episode spends 24 seconds showing people walk upstairs in real time. What is this, House of the Dragon?
괜찮아요. 다 같이 잘해서 이번 게임 끝나고 같이 나가면 되잖아요.
Consoling oneself with the thought of getting out of a hairy situation with your friends intact, but everyone else brutally murdered.
이번 게임은 짝짓기 게임입니다.
Just realizing if this was a line of dialogue in an episode of Dune Prophecy, this would mean that we are literally about to watch a group of people make chit-chat for the next 45 minutes.
아 이거 우리 어릴 때 소풍 가서 했던 그거랑 비슷한 거네. 몇 명 부르면 서로 껴안는 거.
껴안는 거 대신에 저 방으로 들어가는 거네요.
Because once someone's in a room, they are no longer able to hug. Waving your arms in the air and Thanosing them around like you just don't care.
They called me a madman, and what I predicted came to pass. You're ignoramus.
Yes. So
Good. I can feel your anger.
If I can change, and you can change, everybody can change.
실패.
Maybe we should try taking it forward again.
Stop it.
collaborate and listen.
You have made it through yet another game in the series. Congratulations to you all.
Well, the bad news is you're fired.
You don't know what that order is, Mr. Trask. I'd show you, but I'm too old. I'm too tired. I'm too blind. If I were the man I was 5 years ago, I'd take a flamethrower to this place!
Snack time!